Alright guys, so welcome back to Pilates Strong. My name is Lorraine. We're going to do another Pilates type of flow workout, which are just great because you always finish feeling stronger and longer and leaner and stretched out, and it feels great. So you're going to start off on your back. So it's early in the morning for me. I'm going to get a little bit warmed up here before we get into some other moves. So take your arms up to the ceiling and just kind of breathe, okay? And you're going to think about, you know, your core and your arms, making sure that they're not into your ears, that your shoulders are relaxed here, and you're just gonna exhale and take the arms back. Good, and then you're gonna inhale, bring the arms forwards. You're just gonna do that a few times, okay? So we are gonna start with the roll up today. Now, if you are not able to do a roll up, you can always grab your thighs, you can always just come up a little bit. You don't have to come up all the way, but do practice because you do want to eventually get your roll up. Good, just do one more. And as your arms go back, make sure that you're not opening the ribs. So the ribs are drawing down, and that'll give you a deeper stretch through the back of that shoulder. Good. Inhale, arms up, okay? Now, take an inhale here. As you exhale, just nod your head and let yourself kind of peel off the mat one vertebra at a time. So we're just gonna come up to here, okay? And then we're gonna lower back down. So in the roll up, you wanna think about spinal articulation, okay? So you wanna think as you roll up, okay, your legs stay heavy on the ground, and then you're gonna slowly peel it up and then slowly going back down. Now, thinking about your legs, right? You wanna think your legs are heavy, your hips are relaxed. If you feel like when you come up, you're like kind of pulling in, grab your thighs and use that to roll up, okay? Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale. You're gonna roll up all the way this time, one vertebra at a time, pulling your abs in and back. Good. Trying to keep the legs heavy on the mat, not the mat. Good. And then let's go all the way up and over, okay? So it's not flat back, it's a rounded spine here, lifting up and over, shoulders relaxed, and then you're gonna slowly roll it back down. So that last bit there is actually part of spine stretch forwards, and we're gonna do that here next. Exhale, curl it up. So again, if this is too much, grab your thighs and try to find sort of like softness through your spine so that you can actually articulate. Good. And then slowly rolling it back. And when you roll up, there is a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, meaning that your pelvis does come a little bit forward. Exhale, curl it up. Good. Trying to come up one vertebra at a time. And I'm a little bit tight this morning, and I can definitely feel that. Good. Up and over. Good. So we're not like stressing our neck out. We're relaxed. You should even feel like your back muscles are working here. Good. Let's do three more. Inhale, exhale. So again, grab your thighs if you need. There's nothing wrong with that. Trying to go nice and slow, pulling from those abdominals, letting the back open up. Good. Spine stretch forwards. Ooh, that feels so good. Good. And then you're going to roll it back down. You got two more. Good. Exhale. Arms reaching up. Trying to peel up. Many people will get stuck here and then their legs will want to lift. So really think about your breath and thinking about softening your spine to come up. Use your thighs if you need to. Good. And then all the way up and over. Now from here, you're going to have a nice seat. You're going to have a seat. You're going to sit nice and tall. Take the hands by your sides. Take an inhale as you exhale. Now guys, if this is easy for you guys, just stick with it. It's gonna get a little bit harder. For those of you that are already finding this challenging, do not be discouraged. You're gonna slowly spine stretch forwards. Good. And what we're trying to do here is think about peeling your spine off of a wall, one vertebrae at a time, okay? So it's a really nice stretch for the entire spine. Your hips are grounded nice and heavy. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Peel yourself off the wall. I always hear like the imagery of like wallpaper. Not my favorite imagery, but it does work. And then you're thinking about pulling and softening the ribs back and up to help you achieve that nice round spine, and then slowly bring it up, okay? Let's go a little bit deeper. Exhale. Curl, nod your spine, really thinking about stretching your spine, and maybe this time going a little more forwards and pulling those abs in nice and tight. Good. Maybe feet are flexed here. Feet flex will give you a deeper stretch in your low back and into your glutes. Good. And then slowly up. So if this is too much and you cannot sit with your legs straight, you can also sit like this and then just go in between like this, okay? So this is a great option. It's really important that you're able to sit tall and that you don't start off here. This isn't what we want. You want to be able to start nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, slowly reaching the arms forwards, spine stretch forwards, thinking of the abs pulling in and up. Good. Now you're going to roll it back up. We're going to add the arms up, okay? So take the arms long, inhale, exhale, curl it forwards, spreading the shoulder blades apart, pulling those abs in nice and tight. Good. And then slowly stacking the spine up, one vertebra at a time. Good. Inhale, exhale, curl it forwards. Good. And notice I'm not going very far. I mean, I guess I could push myself a little more. You are free to do that. But I'm just sort of listening to my body this morning, thinking, okay, what feels really good right now? And right now, that small range of motion feels pretty good. And you should feel every time you stack your spine up, you're sitting a little taller. Inhale, and then exhale. Good. Spine stretch forwards. Articulate like you're peeling your spine off the wall. One vertebra at a time. Good, and then bringing it back up. Let's do a few more. Inhale, lengthen. It's like you're getting taller every single time you stack back up. It feels really nice. Exhale, curl it forwards, and I'm going to try to go a little further this time. Take as many breaths as you need. And it feels so nice for just opening that whole back, keeping the abs nice and tight. Good, and then peeling it back up, stacking the spine. Good. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale. So your feet are hip distance apart here, unless you're in the diamond shape, which is fine. Good. Keep reaching. Inhale here, exhale, little forwards more. So again, when you're in the spine stretch forwards, you're not sitting way back here. You are sitting nice and tall, up and over, like there's like a beach ball that you're going around. And you're going to start to feel the spine stretching here. Inhale, exhale. Good, just rounding it forwards. Thinking about what side feels more open, making sure that you're not twisting, making sure that the hips are not twisting. Good, keep reaching. Inhale here, exhale, maybe a little further. Good, and then slowly stacking your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Boy, that feels nice. Okay, hands out to the side. Take your feet wider than hip distance apart. We are going to do a little bit of saw, and usually I don't do saw in the beginning, but I don't know, for this series, I kind of like adding a little bit of saw in the beginning of the routine. So take an inhale, exhale, you're going to rotate, okay, keeping your chin in line with your sternum. Okay, shoulders are relaxed, we're not here, this is really important. Relax, sit tall. As you exhale, you're going to dive over that beach ball again. So it's kind of like this similar feeling of spine stretch forwards, but now you've got a little twist. So now you're kind of opening up one side as you pull the abs in a twist, and then slowly rolling it back up. Inhale, exhale, rotate to your left, making sure that your feet are not moving around, meaning that like when you go to your left, your right leg's not pulling out longer. Good. And then stacking the spine up, and then do that again. Exhale, rotate, and then double breath, reach a little longer, and let's pick up the pace a little bit. Exhale, rotate, and then bring it up. Good, a few more. And exhale, and bring it up. And you should feel like it's hard. Definitely my left is harder, good. And exhale. Good, let's do two more. Inhale. Good, and then stacking the spine back up. Exhale. Good. Making sure that you're keeping your head in line with your spine. Good, and then bringing it back up and then release. So you should feel like your obliques are working there as you do your saw. All right, so now we're gonna go into some kneeling leg series. So let's start off today with our left leg up. So you're gonna kneel in this position. You're gonna teeter over. So we just did a lot of saw, so your arms should know where they're at. You know, we did spine stretch forwards. Okay, so teeter over to your right. And a lot of Pilates is, you know, just alignment. So making sure that whenever you start here, you're not starting up here. Your shoulders are relaxed. You have now awareness of your core. Side, Go to your side, okay? Now take your left leg and just kind of leave it on the floor. Press your hips forwards a little bit so that you're not sitting back. So I see a lot of times people doing this stuff, which is not wrong, but for this, I really want you to find that balance and use the obliques and use the abdominals to really find that long line, okay? Now take your left hand on your hip, lift the left leg up, hold, okay? You're gonna slowly lower and lift, lower and lift. So you're stretching out that muscle as you lift. So as you lift, you're not coming in like this. As you lift, you should feel that entire leg stretching as if you're trying to keep the leg on a wall the whole time, or a pole, right? The tendency is as we lift, the leg wants to come in towards us. We want to think length. Good, lift. Good, and lift. Both sides have to work here. Otherwise, you would be sitting kind of like that. Now, if you are having a hard time staying up high, that's okay. You can start here, but just over time, thinking about really learning how to stack yourself up. Good, and lift, and lift. Good, let's think up, up. There we go. Good, and lift. And another thing too that I often see is when people are doing this, their like whole body is wiggling around. You want to be stable. Good, lift. If you feel anything in your low back, slight tuck of your hips will help. Good. And 4, 3, 2, now hold. Take your left hand behind your head, okay? You're gonna flex your right leg, you're gonna bring it forwards, and then you're gonna point it back. So you can do this on your side too, like you don't have to be up in this kneeling position. Good, and sending it back. And it's a lot harder in the kneeling position because as the leg comes forward, you wanna sit back, but you wanna really control. And then as you take that leg back, it's like your back wants to do the work. Try to keep it through your core and glutes here as much as possible. A little bit of back, I mean, your back has to work a little bit, but not as a dominant muscle. Your back has to work to stabilize your back, not to help your leg necessarily bend more, right? Good. So in other words, when your leg goes back, it's not because you're going into a back bend. Good. Last 3. Good. Lift, lift. Last 2. Good. 1 more. And bringing it back. Now hold it there. Little lifts from the back. Lift. Lift. Good. Reach and lift. Really feeling the back of those thighs. If you feel it's in the front of your hip at all, think about maybe turning your hips to the floor a little bit like this. That might help. Good. Otherwise, keep it nice and long. Your legs should be behind you as much as possible. We're working on hip extension. 4. Good. 3. Lift. 2. Good. 1. Now let's go a little faster. Lift and lift and lift. Good. 4. Good. 3. 2. Hold. 3, 2, and then release. Coming back to that kneeling position. Okay. Other side. Arms out to the side. Teeter over. Good. Right leg out. Hips stack. Lifting up. Hold. Now just lower and lift. Lower and lift. And yes, you could put that hand behind your head if you would like. Good. So again, just thinking about, you're gonna notice side to side what side feels tighter too. It's not just about being strong, it's also about feeling what side is looser and more mobile. We all have our sides, right? Good, lift and lift. Good. Hand on the hip is a great option too. Good. We're gonna add that forward and backwards kick here coming up and lift. Good, and lift. It's so hard to keep the hips stacked. It's like you want a nice long line from your foot to the crown of your head. Pilates is hard. It's like, I don't know, for me, Pilates is one of those things where if the teacher doesn't make it fun, it's like so boring. I mean, really, it is. I was lucky enough to have teachers that were fun and really understood it. 3, good, 2, hold. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm sure some of you can relate to that too. Or it's too rigid, which is kind of silly to me because in Pilates, we're not looking to build rigidity, but sometimes, I don't know, I shouldn't say too much, but some teachers can be so rigid, right? Good. Forwards, forwards, good. Back, back, good. Forwards, forwards, back, back. And thank goodness I had fun teachers because I learned Pilates and I learned to enjoy it, right? Good. And back. I don't want to feel like I'm in I'm in a class with a strict teacher, Forwards, forwards, good. Back, back. Good. Forwards, forwards, back, back. Good. Let's do a few more. Stick that booty out when you bring that leg forward. It'll help. So if you feel tightness, just stick your booty out a little bit when you bring the leg forward, and it'll help you get some better hip flexion. Good. Trying to keep that leg up high. Good. Making sure that toe is staying forwards and not down. Good. One more. Hold it back there. Good. Now little lifts. Little lifts. Little lifts. Good. Stretching out. Both sides have to work here. Good. And lift. And lift. And lift. Good. Stay with it, you guys. Pressing up and down. Up and down. Good. Got about 20 more seconds here. Good. You should feel a nice stretch to the front of that hip as you lift that leg as well. Should feel pretty good. So that leg is behind you. Lifting. Abs are tight. Make sure that your low back is not overarching. No, 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 no. Good. Lift. Lift. Now 3, 2. Now we're going to go a little faster. It's down. Lift. 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 Come on. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold 3, 2, and release. Very nice, you guys. Okay, so let's move into a little bit of abs. We're going to do the crisscross. So, booty is burning from that. All right, so laying on your back, hands behind your head. Let's just start off with a little bit of crisscross, okay? So, legs in tabletop here, okay? Also, you can do this with the feet down just by going here and then here, okay? So if that's an option for you, do it. Just make sure your knees don't move in and out like mine just was. Otherwise, here, you're gonna rotate, left leg long, center. Inhale, and bring it in. Good, exhale, inhale. So think of the exhale reaching the leg long as you rotate. So your leg is reaching away from your rotation because you're trying to build oppositional length. Good, which is, whenever I do crisscross, it's not just an ab exercise, it's about that nice feeling of stretch, rotation, lengthen my legs. Good. And even like these little muscles here are working, right? Good. Strong legs. And exhale. Good. And switch. Good. Switch. Good. Making sure that your hips stay down the whole time. So when I rotate, my opposite hip is not lifting. It's staying grounded. I'm constantly looking and analyzing, making sure that my knees are staying in the same plane so they're not going in or out, right? Good. Now let's go a little faster. Good. 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 Now let's add a little double breath. Get a little higher. Get that stretch. Use the breath to help. Good. Good. Stay with it. Good. That double breath is there to help you get that little extra stretch. So it's like, and then a little longer. Good. Good. Think armpit to your knee. Good. Making sure that your hips are not rocking. Good. Last 2. Good. Last 1. Actually, let's do a few more. That was pretty damn good. I mean, darn good. 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 I'm feeling really good here. Now a little faster. Singles. 8. Reach. 7. 6. Good. 5. Good. 4. Reach. 3. Good. 2. 1. And release. So do you notice how that feels this in the way we're doing it today versus usual? Adding that breath, adding that double breath really helps you get a little deeper into that transverse abdominal so that when you go faster, it feels easier in a different way. Like you feel like you have more mobility to get to the crisscross. Anyways, enough talking there. All right, so have a seat. But I just like to explain these things because Pilates is such a misunderstood format. All right, so legs up, and some of it is a matter of opinion, which is fine. Good, now sitting nice and tall. You're just gonna hang on to your legs here for a second, okay? Now, if you find that this is too much, I want you to bend your knees and hang out here. Now, one of the things I see a lot with teaser is that people are using tons of this and like not so much of that, right? So really think about like there's like a anvil on your pelvis and it's keeping you nice and heavy on the floor. So this is really heavy. this is really light. That's how it should feel. And hopefully, if you can like push your kind of femur bones into your hip socket a little bit, like push down a little bit, it will help you to relax this versus trying to like reach it away, which everyone always says reach away because of the oppositional lengthening, but you have to reach away with the right biomechanic, right? So thinking about reaching through the back of the thigh versus trying to just reach the top of the thigh will help. All right, so reach your legs long, sit nice and tall here, and then just do a few bending. And then as you stretch, you should feel your abs doing this work. So bend your legs. Exhale, thinking about reaching through the backs of the thighs. Good, sitting a little taller, and then bend. And you should feel that as you pull your legs down into you, that there is no tension here. That's really important. Good. And exhale, press. Good, and bend. And press. Good, and bend. This is such a great way to build length and strength. Good. One more, hold. Now options here. If this is too much, just keep your knees bent. Otherwise, straighten your legs and hang out here, okay? Now from here, take your arms long, okay? So I'm not super like roundy. I'm kind of lifted, shoulders are back, but I do have a curl in the lower part of my abs here. So I'm really working hard. You can point or flex, don't really care. Now you're gonna lower away from your legs just to about here, and then you're gonna peel it back up. Good. The reason that I'm able to do this is just because I've learned how to be efficient, and I've learned what to use and what not to overuse. So it's all about being efficient. Good. Lower. Good. Exhale, peel. Let's do 2 more. Control, control, control. It's so hard to go slow. And then peel it up, peel it up, peel it up, peel it up. Good. 2 more. Lower, lower, lower. Good. And then rolling it forwards up. Good. Now grab your thighs, okay? Again, if you're tight, you can stay right here. If you've got a little more flexibility, maybe straighten the legs. Let's go legs wide, okay? And if you can, grab your ankles. Now this has always been really hard just because my back isn't straight, so I really have a hard time rolling through center. From here, you're gonna think similar muscles to what we were just using, but now you have to add control, okay? So you're gonna slowly, thinking about leading with the lower abdominals, the pelvis, slowly rolling back, and then lifting up, okay? Just like that. Rolling it back and lifting up. Now your legs have to be strong here. If you're not active through your legs, you're gonna find there's too much movement here. So you kind of need a little movement, but you also have to have somewhere to brace from, and that's okay if that happens. It's hard to talk in this at the same time. Good, good, that's my excuse anyways. Good, and then reaching it back, and so you're just rolling through your spine. I gotta tell you, when I first started, this was like not even an option because my back was so tight. Like I didn't even know how to, I'm not rolling back very well. I didn't know how to kind of curl and have it feel good, and then curl it back up. Good. And then rolling. So you're trying to make it smooth. Good. And then let's do 2 more. Rolling it back. Good. Rolling it forwards. Trying to stay in that nice V-sit the whole time. That's kind of the hard part right there. Good. Now just hold there. Legs together. Good. Last bit here. Arms up. Hold 4. Shoulders relax. Hold 3. Hold 2. And then slowly release. That is not easy, guys. Okay. So since you guys did so good with that, okay, we're going to work into leg pull a little bit, which is an exercise that I don't think is taught nearly enough. Take your heels together, toes apart. This has a lot to do with being able to control what happens through your pelvis and what happens through your core. So hands are by your sides, shoulders are back, okay? Now, I don't like my head back ever for this, but if it feels good for you, feel free to do it. And you'll see what I mean, okay? You're gonna find the back of your thighs, okay? And then you're gonna slowly lift up and you're gonna hold, just like that, okay? So this is option 1. And what I'm looking for is not this, right? This is sagging, but really lifting up. Now, Option 2, if your shoulders are especially tight but you don't have any wrist issues, you're gonna come on your hands. And I think today I feel like doing it on my hands. So I like my hands facing forwards, facing back also works if that's comfy, or a little turned out, okay? You wanna find those back muscles through the back of the shoulder here. Feet pressing down. As you exhale, lift and hold. So some people like to do this with their head. I don't. I like to be right here, lifting up, hold. So the first one is just gonna be a hold, okay? Make sure you're not hyperextending the elbows. Good. Keeping the hips nice and high. Just breathe. 10 more seconds. Make sure that both legs are working evenly. Good. 3, 2, lower it down, okay? Now we're gonna add the leg lift, all right? So heels together, toes apart. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, you should feel your back, the backs of your thighs, backs of your arms, your shoulder, the backs of your shoulders working. Good, and your core. Now, from here, left leg lifts and lowers, okay? Here's what I see a lot. When someone lifts their leg, their butt drops. That's not what we want, right? We want up, lift, lower, okay? Good. Lower. You don't have to go super high here, guys. Good. Few more. Good. Keeping high. Good. I am shaking. Let's do one more on each side. Abs are pulling in tight. Hold it, 4, 3, 2, and then release. That's a lot of work. Okay, so now let's go into a little bit, since our backs of our thighs are now warm and our back muscles are a little bit warm, let's go into a little back extension series, okay? You're gonna find yourself on your mat or on the floor in a prone position, which is basically laying on your stomach, okay? You're gonna take your hands out wide. We're gonna start with our swan. So if you've seen my other videos, your swan, hand position is important, but if your shoulders or your elbows bother you to have them way back, take them further forwards, it's okay, okay? The most important thing with the swan is making sure that your shoulders are organized, your neck is not over recruiting, so it's nice and relaxed, and that you're bending from and distributing the extension evenly from your upper back to your lower back, versus just being lower back, okay? So take an inhale here. As you exhale, let's keep our hands down, just pull the shoulders back, and imagine that you're watching some bug crawl forward, and just kind of peel your head up and lift your chest up. Good, and just hold. And you wanna think about the front of your ribs relaxing down into the mat a little bit, but without compensating your low back, right? So your pubic bone is drawing in a little bit, good, and then slowly release. So if you watch carefully, there's a difference between that and this. This is all in my low back right now. To fix that, I just draw my pubic bone forward a smidge, draw the front ribs in, and you can see the change, right? Now it's a little bit more in my upper back, and then slowly lower. I will say, some of you who are really tight in your shoulders, if your elbows are out here, sometimes that could actually help you find your back muscles, and that's okay. Over time, you wanna start drawing the elbows in. Good, let's do 2 more. Exhale. Lift, slowly lower, good. Now, if you want to extend the arms all the way, feel free. Exhale, peel it. I'm just gonna do a little bit because I'm always really tight in my low back, and then slowly lower. I shouldn't say low back, I'm always tight in my upper back. Inhale, exhale, shoulders back. Make sure that your shoulders are not here, but they're back. Pressing up, good. Slowly lower. 1 vertebra at a time, okay? Now I'm gonna try to straighten my arms here in a second. Exhale, peel the chest up, pull the shoulders back. Good. I think that's about as straight as I'm gonna go for this one. Head in line with your spine. Don't do what I was doing, it's not this. Good, and then lower. If you have a mirror, check yourself out in the side mirror. Exhale, peel it up. Good, that's a little better, huh? My arms are pretty forward. I have a hard time, again, getting up in my back extension just with scoliosis. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm gonna try to take my hands back a little bit and see if I can press really high up onto my thighs. Good, and then slowly lower. So you can lift yourself up off of your pubic bone and the tops of your thighs, right? Now from here, if you're feeling pretty open, you're either gonna keep doing this or you're gonna start to see if you can maybe add a little rocking. So as you come up, then you lower and then you press back up. Good, and you wanna try to keep the shape of your spine like a rocking chair. Good, and then you could pick it up. Good. Good. Keep the head in line with the spine. Was not doing a good job with that again. Good. 4, press. 3, press. 2, press. 1 more, and then release. So that's your Swan 2. And the point of that is to be able to move quickly like that while maintaining that sort of rocking chair feet shape, right? So your spine is like in the shape of a rocking chair. I'm breathless from that. Oh my God. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna have you now go right into your push-up. So actually, I'm sorry, we're gonna go into leg pull front. So take your hands by your sides, okay? Pull the shoulders back. You should be nice and warm. I can already tell you that all these muscles are working like mad. Okay, inhale and exhale. See if you can just push yourself into a nice little push-up here. Okay, just like that, hold. Okay, now from here, you're gonna reach your right leg up, leg pull front, lower. Good, making sure that you're not overusing your low back, and switch, and lift, and switch. Good, so what you're looking for is not this, right? Thinking about reaching the leg to lift the leg. So the leg, don't worry how high it lifts. You're gonna feel the backs of the thighs working just from, like when I reach, I'm lengthening first and I'm still lengthening as I reach. Good. And lift. It's cool because Pilates is designed to work on the things that in society we tend to lose, right? Which is usually the backs of our bodies. Good, 1 more. Good, and then switching sides again. Good, now from here, step your left hand in. We're gonna, whoopsies, we're gonna go into a little bit of a side plank. So I rarely do side plank on my wrist like this because I do feel like it's very demanding for some people on their wrists and shoulders. But today we're gonna do it, okay? Now from here, hold, arm is up, little lower, and lift. Lower, and lift. They're small. We're just trying to get through the sides a little bit here, good. Good, let's do 5 more, 5, good. You got 4, you got 3, good. 2, 1 more, hold. Take that hand down, good. Just breathe here, good, and then set your knees down. Okay, so now we're gonna move into the other side. We're gonna start right back with that leg pull front, hands down, okay? Ready, lift, and lower, exhale, good, and you should feel a stretch throughout your body. Good, and good, few more, good, good, let's do 1 more on each side, good, and lift. Use the length to lift, 1 more, good, now step your right hand in, come into that side plank, hold, okay, little lower, and lift, lower, and lift. So guys, these exercises are not easy. They're hard. Just do the best that you can. If you feel discouraged, just maybe take a break and then come back into it, or skip. You could actually skip exercise if they're too hard and then come back to them later as you get stronger too. That's an option. Good. Last 2. Good. Last 1. Good. And then slowly release that. Awesome job, you guys. So let's just have a little bit of a seat. I'm gonna sit with my legs long. Let's just do like a nice little flat back forwards and just thinking about getting your belly down onto your mat, curling the arms forwards, feet pressing long, and just relax here for a second. Anyways, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, share. Lots of great videos out there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Awesome job.